So I made our way to the Jardine ferry. This is where you cross the, obviously the Jardine River. It's the only way to get across to get up to the tip. So we've come out of the Old Tally track, finished that one, done and dusted. Pretty bloody awesome. Yeah, 110 bucks here on the Jardine ferry, and that includes return ferry and also bush camping on the other side of the Jardine River. So just show you guys around here. The ferry just down that way. They've got campgrounds here as well, and toilets. Made it into Bamaga. We're pretty exhausted. We're going to make our way out to Punsand Bay. There's a caravan park there and camp on the pretty close to the actual tip, and then we'll head up and do the tip tomorrow. Get a picture of the sign there. Pretty warm, about 30 degrees, and it is pretty humid. And what is interesting, diesel fuel here in Bamaga is about $2.75, so that's not too bad, and about $2.45 for unleaded. So the thing you got to do when you're heading up to the tip of Australia is pop into the famous Croc tent here and grab yourself some merchandise. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Get a couple of shirts and a couple of stubby coolers. Croc tent, it literally is just a tent too, guys. There she is. Here at Punsand Bay, you wouldn't bloody believe it. We get into the park here and they're totally booked out. I just didn't think they'd be booked out for camping sites, for swag sites. So our other options were just to get a free camp just down the road, just right near the tip here, the top of Australia, but we're absolutely stuffed, absolutely buggered. We needed to do a wash some clothes, and the thought of you know, some facilities, toilets and washing machines is just something we needed. So they had one of these little kind of cabin tent things right on the water here. Not complaining. It was 160 bucks, so it's not something we really wanted to pay for, but yeah, for a bit of comfort tonight. Well, it's not comfort, I'll show you in a sec. It's pretty rugged inside, but it'll do tonight. But we haven't had to unravel all the camping gear. We can enjoy a couple of beers, and you've got the famous corrugation bar, and it's literally about 20 meters from the cabin here. So anyway, I'll show you guys this little cabin. So you've got the famous gutter bar that's just over in the distance there. There's some tables and chairs. You can have your beers down here, and right on the beach here. It's looking quite nice. Bit of a breeze up. Let's give you the grand tour here. So it's basically just 2 single beds. It's all open, so limited privacy. There is a fan in here. Look, there is electricity. There you go. You can see straight out, right out there to the ocean. I think we're sort of still pointing sort of basically north. So that's it. As you can see, I'm sweating. It's pretty warm, about 32 degrees here at the moment, maybe a bit more, and quite humid here. Rightio guys, it was about an hour after I took this vlog here that I started to experience some pretty severe pain, and I worked out pretty quickly that I needed to get to a hospital and get to a hospital pretty quick. So obviously Bamaga is our closest hospital. Mick jumped jumped in the car, and it was dark by this time and took us about 45 minutes. We got down into Bamaga and got myself into the hospital here. What was funny, there was a horse feeding on the front lawn out the front of the hospital, and as much pain as I was in, I just thought that was bloody hilarious. But look, anyway, the staff here, the couple of nurses and the doctor looked after me very, very well here at Bamaga, but they soon realised that I did need to be probably in a larger hospital, so they called upon the Royal Flying Doctor Service and got me a flight. This flight come up from Cairns, as you can see here, and then I was on my way down to Cairns Hospital. First time laying flat on a plane. I felt like I was flying first class, and thank you very much to the fabulous nurse and the pilot that got me down there, because I was in some reasonable pain. But got into Cairns early morning, about 4 a.m. here, and got off to the Cairns Hospital. Again, another massive thank you to the Royal Flying Doctor Service, much appreciated. But for now, it's back to Mick. He's still up at the tip at Punsand Bay.
Okay guys, so we're leaving the beautiful Punsand Bay where we stayed last night. I say we, but I mean me. Marcus has done himself a mischief, and we've had to go into the Bamaga Hospital last night, where he has then been assessed, and they've determined that he needed further care at the Cairns Hospital. So he was airlifted from Bamaga down to Cairns. Royal Flying Doctors, shout out to them, they do a fantastic job, and also the nurses at the Bamaga Hospital. So it'll just be me solo up to the tip this morning. If you're up here, check it out. Right on the water, beautiful spot. G'day. Good, yourself? Well, made it up to the tip. Come out to the beach and the tide's out, which is the ideal time to come because it's a shorter walk. There is a track that goes across through the rocks. However, once the tide's out, you can walk around. It should only take a couple of minutes, much easier. Just one thing to keep in mind, guys. When you're walking on this sand, it is slippery. So, you don't want to be slipping and sliding. Take the rock walk. Just one other thing, the drive from Croc Tent down to the tip here, oh my God, amazing. Rainforest the majority of the way. It feels like you're actually driving through the Daintree. Not that I've done that, however, that's probably what it felt like. And as Marcus says, do yourself a favour and get up here. Have a look at this. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Guys, the disappointing thing is Marcus couldn't be here to get up to the tip. Obviously, as I said earlier, he's done himself a mischief. He is down at the Cairns Hospital at the moment in good hands. What's that mean? It means we're going to have to come back. So another trip, but the 200 did not let us down, did not miss a beat, other than throwing about 11 fault codes. So that's something that needs to be looked at once we get back to the Gold Coast. But guys, what an epic trip. Big shout out to Marcus, mate. Wish you could have been here. What an epic spot. Until next time, guys, stay tuned, searching for adventure. How you holding for corrugations? I've got plenty if you need some. But they are over. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
There we go, Mick keeping himself amused for that 1,000+ Ks down to Cairns. This is Mick coming into Cairns where I was staying, and just on my health, guys, I'm all okay. Bit of a personal issue, was in severe pain, but they sorted me out here in Cairns, and then I was feeling much better. So we stayed a further night here in Cairns, and then for Mick and I, it was then phase 2 of our trip. So we were always going to do the Simpson Desert for phase 2 of our trip. So we were now leaving Cairns and making our way out to the Northern Territory, the Jervois station on the Plenty Highway, where we would then start the Hay River Track. But of course, this is where everything went wrong with the car, and those injectors came back to bite us on the bum. Some sort of hard fault now where it's not, we're not tricking it when we clear the code. Lucky this didn't happen on the tally track. So I think at this stage, phase 2 of our trip out to the Simpson Desert and the Hay River Track is bloody over. Absolutely disappointed, and we're going to have to try and limp back into Winton. We are officially in absolute dead set limp mode. Doing about 40 k's an hour back into Winton. Trip's over. The car wins. Car 1, searching for Adventure 0.